Welcome to the Life of KG, your ultimate destination for all things motivation and business insights. Join me, Katie Godfrey, serial entrepreneur and the brains behind the KG brand. Along the way, we'll welcome inspiring guests and share invaluable business tips to fuel your growth journey. Don't miss out. Hit that subscribe button and leave us a review. With that said, let's dive into the world of success together. Join my 2027 retreats. Oh my gosh, if you haven't been on one of my retreats, you need to come and join one. And in 2027, we have Dubai in April and we have Bali in October. Dubai, think business strategy and mindset, and in Bali, think healing and mindset. They're both going to be very different and equally incredible. So if you want more information, let me know. The link is below. But also, I know it feels ages away, but the spaces go ridiculously fast and we're putting long payment plans in place. So make sure you grab your space today. Hey everyone, welcome back to A Life of KG. Well, we're in a new season and I'm in a new studio in Dubai and I'm so excited for this, like a new fresh start. You guys would have thought that I have been in the studio every couple of weeks recording episodes as they have been going out consistently since I moved, but I actually batched loads before I moved to Dubai, so then obviously the show could just keep rolling, which has been amazing. But I'm really looking forward to getting back. So I'm going to be doing lots of solo episodes and I'm also going to be bringing on some incredible guests because when I rise up, so do you guys. Now, this episode today is going to be about the biggest mistakes that I'm seeing going wrong in businesses because it's been really eye-opening over the last 6 months for me. Now, when it comes to the salon world, obviously I had my salons for 17 years and I would always go to other locations. And the reason for that was, one, I just loved getting treatments done in peace without my team talking to me. And also I just loved experiencing different experiences. And I find that's always so important because we can get really kind of like stuck in our ways with what we do within our own business and really forget about what happens outside in other people's businesses. And this isn't about copying or anything like that. This is about inspiration. How do you know that you're delivering the best experience unless you don't try other locations too? And it's just something that we've always done, always done. And sometimes we bring like tips and tricks from other locations into our location. Sometimes we're like, no, we're doing that absolutely perfect. So I don't need to worry about a certain thing or whatever that might be. The other thing that I actually used to do was do this for my team. And I used to put them into other locations to try different things. For example, a staff member come to me once and she was like, I really want to try another location because I don't want anyone to wax me here. And I was like, that's fine. She was just super shy with her team waxing her. I ended up waxing her after she went to somewhere else anyway. But she wanted to just get it done somewhere else. And I was like, do you know what? I'm going to start paying for you guys to actually have a treatment somewhere else. And they were like, what? And I was like, yes, let's do this because most of you, this is your first job with me and you don't know anything outside of this salon. So if I let you try other locations, it's going to really open your eyes up to how these salons look, feel, how their consultations are, how their customer service are, like all of the things. So they're like, right, okay. But what I did was I would pay for them to have that service done, but they would have one of our mystery shopping forms. Now, I have actually been a mystery shopper for many different awards where we have a really hefty form to go through when we go into different locations. And I reproduce this form and give it to my team. My clients also have access to this form. So then the team would have to fill that out as part of a survey to then bring back to my salon and give us all the feedback. And it was really eye-opening for the team as well. So I highly recommend it. But when I was doing this in the UK, I was doing this from a salon owner's perspective, right? I was a salon owner. I wanted to see what other people were doing. I wanted to keep fresh and all the things. And I also wanted to support other local businesses. Like there's many salons I went to that I was really friendly with. And I've went to obviously loads of my client salons as well. But that was from a salon perspective, a salon owner's perspective. Now I've moved to Dubai. I have been doing this because I'm on the hunt for my new salon. Like I want to go to a new regular salon. I didn't have my own here. So where's going to be my regular for my nails? Where's going to be my regular for, you know, my skin? And it's been more difficult than I thought it would be. Maybe I'm extra fussy, I'm not sure. But I have my regular for my hair because my client Indira that owns In Hair, she is incredible. She's based in the Marina. Like she gets this perfect color every single time. So I am not going anywhere else. I've been super blessed that I've just gone straight to my client for that. But when it comes to my beauty treatments, I'm struggling. Now, it's more because of the treatments are actually a good standard, like a very good standard. The teams are amazing. It's more the service. And this is what I've said to my clients so many times. Like, we can produce the best treatments, but it actually even more so comes down to the service. And that's what I want to stress with you guys. Now, I'm going to tell you a few situations that I've been in, but also the steps that I feel that are getting missed in any location in the world. And I would really like you to try and bring these into your business. Now, obviously, I'm not doing a full training on this because that's for my clients, but I definitely wanted to show you what steps are missing so then you can start implementing that into your business. Now, one thing I wanted to scratch on was complaints. Now, there's a clinic that I've been going to that I absolutely loved. And some of you would have seen this on my socials because so many of you were really invested in the story. But I went to go to a location that I've actually gone to many times, and I was like, yes, this is a place for like my skin and my laser and all the things, and it was brilliant. But then I invested in getting microneedling done, and my first session of microneedling was spot on. My second session of microneedling was with a different staff member than the first time, and it was a completely different experience. From the second I went into the room, my consultation, because there was none, from how the treatment was delivered, and then the aftercare, like the whole process. I was like, whoa, I didn't feel looked after. I wasn't given like the aftercare cream I needed after that treatment. The treatment steps were completely the other way around. So now I'm looking at this from a client's perspective. Like and treatments in Dubai are not cheap, by the way, they're very expensive. So I'm now a paying customer and I'm looking at this from a customer's perspective, which is so interesting and different from looking at it from a salon owner's perspective. I can't even tell you. That's why I'm like so keen on this subject at the moment. So anyway, the point to that was one of the main things that people are doing wrong within their business is the team are not carrying out the treatment in the same way. Now, what I'm hearing time and time again is my staff aren't as good as me. They're not doing the treatments as well as me. Are they not as good as you, or is the step-by-step process just not the same? Do you give those little touches to your clients, but then your team don't? So then when your client goes over to your team member, it feels like a different experience, because that's exactly what happened to me. Like, exactly what happened to me. The little touches weren't there. The step-by-step was completely different. So it felt like a completely different service that wasn't the same result. And that's what makes a huge difference. And that's why people complain. Now, I did not complain because I'm not a complainer, but I did say that this service definitely wasn't what it was before. And I was rooting for this salon because they were a new salon. And I'm quite pally with the salon owner. So I was like, said the situation. And anyway, then the therapist actually WhatsApped me and said that she was sorry. And I was like, oh, that's a little bit awkward, but that's fine. Just was like, no worries. I'll see you again next time. So from, again, a client's perspective, I didn't personally like hearing from the team member that I said her service wasn't great, right? And then the next day, she called me. And she called me and she was like, I'm really sorry about the service. I'm sorry if it wasn't up to scratch. And she was really apologetic and she was saying why, like, and all of the things. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is even more awkward. So I just want you to try and see what you do when you have a complaint in your business. Do you sort it out as the owner and, you know, just rectify it, sort it out? Like, even if it's going back to that same therapist, that's absolutely fine. And the therapist then just picks up the pieces and makes sure that the treatment and the service is like to standard. And then you can actually turn that client into like a raving fan if it's just like, it was just a bad first time or not as good first time, but the second time, do you know what? She was incredible. Like, that's how you turn the client into a raving fan, into coming back time and time again with that therapist. But now it's just been made awkward with the therapist calling. So do you get your girls or guys to call the client and apologize? If you do, from a client's perspective, I was like, oh no, I don't know if I like that. The salon owner call in or the manager call in, 100%. Like, you always want to do that, but not for the therapist to like message and then call. So I just found that really interesting. I think because from a business point of view, it actually might feel like, yeah, that's a good thing. The therapist called, they apologized and all of those things. But from a client's point of view, like, that really didn't sit well with me. So I just really wanted to share that with you, so you make sure that you don't do that within your business. Like, the owner or the manager can apologize. The staff member can definitely carry out the treatment again. Just make sure that they know what they're doing, the things they needed to prove on. When you get a complaint, always take it back to your team, always. But when there's a complaint, there's normally a training behind it. Like, what is it that they complained about? Was it the steps and the service? Then you know that you need to make sure that you're doing this type of training with your team. So whatever you're physically carrying out, your team are carrying out exactly the same steps and the same service. Like, I literally can't stress that enough. And actually, a few of my clients have said, like, when they've had complaints, it's never about like certain things. It's always because how they felt in the moment of that treatment with the steps. The most tiniest step that maybe might not have made a difference actually felt like a huge difference to the client. So we just need to make sure that we just bear those things in mind. So that was one of my experiences. I'm still going back there because I love the location and some of the treatments I have done there, but just wanted to pick that up and share that with you guys. Another thing that we've experienced during having treatments done, because again on socials you will see that I'm doing like salon diaries. So when I go to different locations and different businesses, I'm coming back with all the lessons, and I'll never name the locations, by the way, never. I just don't feel it's fair, but I'm coming back and being like, okay, this salon done this or this salon done that. How good is that? Let's put this into your business, or let's not do this. And that's why we're kind of like doing these episodes, and people are learning so much from them. And it's just a really good thing to do. Again, like I said, just from a client perspective. So another thing that people are missing massively are refreshments. Now, obviously, this does depend on what treatments that you are carrying out. Some treatments you just obviously can't offer them tea or coffee. But if you are having a treatment where you're sitting down and you're relaxing, it's such a big thing. So there was this other salon that I went to for my nails. I put this online as well, and they were amazing, by the way. Like, everything was great. But the one thing they massively missed out on was the refreshments. And I took my daughter there, and on the way there, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait for a cup of tea and to get my nails done and relax. And then they didn't offer me a cup of tea. I was like, oh, I really wanted a drink. And I'm not that person to be like, can you get me a drink? Like, that's just not going to happen. So that was really interesting. So if you are offering treatments where people can sit and relax, remember, this is their time, they're spending money, make sure that you are offering them a refreshment. Because it just helps with the customer service. It's so important. Now, what we done in our salon, like this is always like a real big thing for me. So what we done in our salon is we actually had refreshment menus, and we used to hand the menus to the clients, and then they used to choose what they wanted to have. And that could be cappuccino, a latte, iced latte, that could be a can of Coke, a Sprite. And we used to actually have cans, and they loved the cans. We done that for a couple of years, and they absolutely loved it. I think where like cost of living now, like grabbing a coffee or getting a can is so expensive for people. Whereas if we could offer that, it's like, it just elevates the experience. Now, if you are somewhere where it's more health like driven, it might be that you offer matcha or something like that. But what can you offer within your services and what you do, the types of refreshments to kind of mirror that? And that really, really worked for us, and we really liked that. Like the clients loved it. And you get to know what your clients want. So for example, if Sally, I always use Sally, but if Sally comes in and she always has a cappuccino with 2 sugars, we would actually make that for her, like just as she arrived. So it was like a treat that it was done. So you can get to know what your clients want. And again, it just elevates that experience. The other thing that is really missing is the consultation period. And this literally frustrates the life out of me. Like, why are we missing the consultation? It's such a basic part, yet we miss it. Like, this is drummed into us at college. This is drummed into us when we even do a 1-day course. Like, it's just something that everyone has to learn. Yet because people assume it doesn't have to be done, it then doesn't get done, or your team might be carrying it out and their team don't see how important it is, so then they don't do it. And oh my gosh, it's such an integral part of the whole customer journey. We need to make sure that we're spending time with the client, like spending time with the client. They're spending their money with us. Like, that's how we're feeding our children. Like, we need to make sure that we're giving the client time. Like, and that means sitting down with them. What do you want from this treatment or service? Like, what are you doing at home to make sure that, this service is going to get the best results from? Like, what are their thoughts and feelings? Like, some people are nervous, some people aren't. Like, we need to manage every single client very differently. And that all comes from the consultation. But from the consultation, we know what they're doing at home. We know what they're here for. We can manage their expectations of what they want. We can help them with what aftercare products that they need to have to be able to make sure that this treatment lasts as long as it should. Like, there's so much that comes down to this consultation period. And I can't stress that enough. Like, if you find this difficult or your team find this difficult, redo your consultation cards. Make sure that they are like in order of the questions that you want your team to answer, because then that will help your team make sure that this is done in a thorough way as well. But you need to, in this part, come across as an expert. Like, they're paying you for a service, so you should know your stuff. And that means that you need to come across as that expert and you know how to answer all their questions. If someone wants something that's not achievable, then you need to handle that. You need to say, you know what, we can definitely get to this point, but with this, you're going to need a skim plan. Or for this, you're going to need to join the membership. Or for this, like, we can get it, but you're also going to have to use these products at home. Like, we need to manage expectations as the professional. So please don't miss the consultation, like, part of a treatment. If you're ready to level up, you need to join one of my masterminds. My clients are getting insane results. One client works from home, has tripled her income, and is now joining the mentoring space. Another client was stuck to her salon floor, but now has retired from the tools, and her team is just running the show without her. Another salon owner had a training academy too and wanted to scale her training academy more than the salon, which she is now doing, and created online courses and created a passive income. If you want to stop winging it and start growing today, then you need to apply. The link is in the show notes. I can honestly say, hands on heart, there's only one place I've been to here that has actually got me to fill out a consultation form. I've been here for 6 months and I go to a salon nearly every other week. And that was my clinic with the complaint. Like, they done everything perfect when it comes to like consultations and everything. And when we used to try salons in the UK and when we done mystery shopping for awards, like this is another thing that was always missed. So sometimes I feel like, Kate, do you really have to talk about something so basic? Well, yeah, I do, because it's not being done in industry. Like, so this is what you need to make sure that you're doing. The other things that we get missed are aftercare and rebooking. Now, I know why aftercare gets missed, because aftercare comes with product and people are scared to sell product. Like, this can't be a scary thing. Like, if people don't know what their aftercare is, how can they have the longevity of whatever treatment it is that you're doing for them? Like, and if they're not going away with some type of product that might help that service, then you're going to end up with an unhappy client. So please make sure that you're offering the aftercare. That might be that you say it verbally and then you give them something that's within a card form or a leaflet. That might mean that you give it verbally, but you also direct them to the website where it's more in detail. Like, there's many ways to do the aftercare, but the aftercare is always going to come back with what do they need to do at home. And that means selling product, which you guys are so scared about. Like, I can't stress to you enough how much retail can add to your income, like, but can also elevate the client experience. If you're not selling it, they're just going to go down the road and buy it them anyway. So you might as well sell it to them and sell them the correct products. I always used to say that, look, we can do your treatment and, you know, they're going to go away and use whatever products they want anyway. But if they don't buy from us, we can't then like be liable for whatever happens to that treatment if they're not using the products that are recommended. Also, we want our clients to be returning. So obviously that comes with rebooking, which I'm going to talk about, but we want them to come back and use us as their product place as well. Imagine people walking into your location and just buying a product but not actually needing the service yet, or when they do come for the service, they're also buying the product and then their spend goes up. So these are the things that you need to talk about. But let's talk about rebooking, because again, here I have only been asked to rebook once, and that was in the clinic. And I always rebook all my treatments there, and you know, it just works. Like, they don't let me go out without rebooking, but I also want to rebook. So I always return there, even though I didn't like the complaint situation, I still return there. So the other salons I've been to and clinics, not one has asked me to rebook. And I'm like, wow. Now, again, from a client perspective, the things that go through your head is, do they not want me to come back? And I know that might sound silly, but if they're not asking you to come, you might think that, oh, they don't want me to come back. So make sure you're asking them, because it really is part of the experience. I would love to see you again. Like, we need to make sure that we rebook you back in. Like, some treatments that you deliver or services, you might find that you don't need them to rebook. Maybe that's aesthetics and you know they're not coming back for 4 months, 6 months, maybe even a year. So saying things like, would love to see you again, or, you know, we'll give you a reminder like a month before your treatment's due, or whatever that might be, that's like perfect. If you're delivering a service where they can come back every 2 weeks, once a month, every 6 weeks, every 8 weeks, we need to make sure that they are rebooking before they leave the salon or the clinic. Like, it's so important. They need to feel wanted, and they need to also know when they need to come back. Now, lots of people will say to me, well, the clients just book online. Obviously, online booking is like a huge thing now. Of course, lots of them do book online, but when they're standing right in front of you, there are things you can say to make sure that they do rebook there and then. There's scripts that you can use with your team to make sure that they book there and then. There's urgency that you can play with. So just try your best to get people to book in while they're there, because we know what happens. Like, life happens, we get busy, like people then just go and, you know, forget. And then before you know it, it's like a month later, like loads of different reasons why you need to rebook rather than booking online. But also here, where I'm in a new location, and again, I'm looking at stuff from a client point of view, I'm leaving the salon, and even if it's like I love the service and, you know, everything's all good and I would go there again, when I'm scrolling or when I'm just going anywhere and I'm seeing a new salon, I'm like, oh, let's try there, because it's like everything's shiny right now. So I'm trying all these different locations. Where if someone booked me before I left, I wouldn't then go and book somewhere else because I wouldn't cancel on someone. So it's really interesting just seeing like a different behavior that I've got as a spending client. So just bear that in mind. The other thing that I'm seeing, and this is my last point, is there's no marketing after. So even though they haven't rebooked me, I'm not also being enticed through marketing because there is none. Now, I spoke to some really high clinic owners over here, and I was like, what's the marketing strategy here? And they were like, word of mouth. And I'm like, huh? Now, word of mouth is obviously the best form of marketing. That's trusted marketing straight away. We all want our clients to be raving about us and sending their friends and their family. Like, you can't beat it, and it's free marketing, right? Like, you honestly can't beat it. So that's amazing. If your business runs on word of mouth, then incredible. But imagine if it ran on word of mouth and marketing. Like, that's the difference. That's when everything heightens. So at the moment, I'm trying these locations, and then I'm not being asked to rebook, and then I'm not being marketed to. I've forgotten about them. I'm on to the next location. I feel bad because I'm a bit like that salon hopper at the moment, but that's what it's like when you're trying to find your place, right? Like, I like using the same person over and over and over again. So I'm still trying to find that person. And if I'm not being marketed to, this just forgotten. Like, where's the email marketing? Where's the text reminders? I'm not really seeing them on social. So it's really, really interesting. So think about your customer journey at the moment. Are any of them points missing? Are there any of those points that you could bring in within your business just to heighten the whole experience? Are you marketing to your clients after they leave? If not, please, why not? Like, we need to make sure that we're doing that to be at the forefront of people's minds all the time. So anyway, I hope that that helped and you went away with some tips, and I will carry on socials doing my not client journeys. We are doing those success stories as well, which are amazing. You can check them out on the podcast. But the salon diaries that I'm doing, I'll carry on doing those just to educate you guys even more. So I'll see you soon.